So it doesn't really matter what's needed in the business. TDM have been there as a partner. We've started to solve a very particular problem, which is we get up every day thinking about how do we make e-commerce better. When I got involved with TDM, my co-founder stepped out of the business, and so it was just me building the business. I think one of the hardest things as being a founder is you've got a long-term vision of where you want to get to, and sometimes it can be really tough to be challenged. When you come to the Rokt board meeting, I mean, you've got 9 incredibly smart individuals with a depth of experience building multi-billion-dollar businesses. We love to have vigorous debates. We believe in radical candor. And I think that's one of the great things about TDM is they've got a strong point of view when they come to the table, but they're willing to have the discussion and the debate, and there's no ego involved in terms of whatever the decision is. The TDM team have leaned in with data, have leaned in with analysis. They come to conversations with a different point of view on some topics, but ultimately you get to better answers. And the great thing is when you get an investor that has the same value is they actually lean in and help you continue to build the business. And TDM just definitely share we act like owners in the business, and that's been great. Most investors, when you meet them, talk about that sort of approach, but seeing it up front in a very, very active way was unique. I hadn't seen that before. So whatever the organizational need has been, TDM's been very active at leaning in. Another area that leaned on TDM for help is where we've needed transitional resource in finance or to help run a particular process that's not regular, like around prepping for IPO or talking to public market institutions. That's the sort of area that TDM has injected resources, and the transition between what is a resource in TDM and what is a resource here has been fluid. So whatever the organizational need has been, TDM's been very active at leaning in. So as an example was when we needed a interim CFO or out recruiting one, we used a secondee from TDM to fill that role. And she was fantastic and was loved by the team and is still involved heavily in the team. When you're trying to build a business over the long run, you really want an investor to lean in and be partners with you to look through what's going to be ultimately a 1 or 2 year cycle or an event and think more longer term about the business. And I always remember a conversation I had with Tom early on in the COVID moment where he said, look, let's not worry about what happens this year. Don't worry about the numbers or the budget or whatever we signed off on this year. This is unique. We're just going to focus on what's going to happen in the long run, and we're going to build a business that's going to be much stronger. And he challenged me, and it was a very useful thing to say at the time, is let's do everything we can to emerge stronger from this than when we went into this. That's when you find a long-term partner, you can tap into those sorts of opportunities, and it's really where huge potential unlock is occurred in a business.